What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Nintendo Land. I'm just still coming off of a geeked out high right now because Mario and Luigi is back, baby. That's right, Mario and Luigi is not dead. Even with Alpha Dream going bankrupt, we don't know if this brand new game coming out is going to be from them or from someone else, but yes, we are getting a mainline, brand new Mario and Luigi game for Nintendo Switch, and it's coming out this year. I am so excited for this. And this is Mario and Luigi Brotherhood. This is, like I said, a brand new experience, so there's so much to go through and so much to dive into with the characters, the enemies, the worlds, the art style, the animation, the voice lines, everything, and that's what we're going to do today, picking apart this game trailer from beginning to end. So if you guys are excited to learn something new from Mario and Luigi Brotherhood, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Mario and Luigi and Mario in general, and let's dive into the brand new trailer. Off the bat, we get a brand new art style, and I absolutely love it. It looks exactly the way Mario and Luigi should look, but on a home console. And I love the way that the characters and their colors look as well. You can see some purple flushed into Mario's red hat, and same with Luigi as he has some blue shades flushed into his green. Obviously, Kevin Afghani will be voicing Mario and Luigi, and the voice lines sound pretty good here. Take a listen.
Mario! Luigi? Huh? Luigi!
Now, it isn't long before the bros' hands start glowing and they get teleported to some new world as they fly through a wormhole in the sky. Then we jump into the gameplay. We know that the game is going to be based on multiple different islands, kind of Wind Waker vibes, thanks to the presenter. And of course, this game is based off of Brotherhood, so it seems like there will be lots of brother-themed attributes to this game. As you can see in the far-off background, there's two stone statues holding hands, possibly being brothers of themselves or representing a brother group. You can also see tons of stone carvings of characters, which reminds me a lot of Mount Pajama Jaw from Mario and Luigi Dream Team. So it would be pretty cool to see the massive bros return from that game. I mean, it would only make sense. Next, we get a scene of Mario and Luigi jumping as they're crossing a bridge. Not much to go off of here besides some birds flying off the bridge as they get close. Then we get our first snippet of gameplay with the battling system. And you can see that there's 3 enemies on the field, 2 of them being some type of pigs or hogs, which is a brand new enemy type, and so is this weird floating jellyfish flower sprout thing in the air as well. What's interesting here is the bros are doing bros attacks, and this is the first time we see bros attacks, which really just incorporates Mario and Luigi since the original of Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. So in a way, this almost feels like a reinvention of the series and kind of starting back there again, which is absolutely awesome, and it doesn't seem like they're using any items here, even though we do know there will be bros attacks that uses items. This is a simple one where Mario must jump on the enemy by pressing A, where Luigi flings him up in the air by pressing B, and then you have to press A once again when you land back on that same enemy. Done perfectly correct, you will get an excellent. Now this scene is pretty interesting. It shows Mario and Luigi doing twirl spins by jumping off of flower pods, and if you'll notice, Mario and Luigi are completely separate here. Mario's going a different direction and working in a different way than Luigi that's completely separate. So it's either Luigi's being controlled by himself via the computer, or this game is going to be multiplayer, which means you can actually play couch co-op Mario and Luigi for the first time ever, which would be so cool. Notice a couple of question blocks and a coin counter at the bottom left, and yeah, this is pretty much a Mario and Luigi game through and through. Next scene shows the bros working with a teeter-totter, and there's some blue statues and some red statues with a whole bunch of stuff going on. Well, as you can see here, Mario needs Luigi to go stand on a specific part of the teeter-totter to keep it tilted down so he can run and jump up on the platform. And in order to do so, it looks like you click the L trigger in order to get Luigi to do specific tasks. So maybe it isn't multiplayer and Luigi just has specific moments where you can tell him what to do, or maybe it is co-op as well. We just have to wait and see. But as you can tell, Mario needs to push the statue on the teeter-totter, probably to fling Luigi up onto a higher part of the cliff, where we can get that giant red crystal apple, which you'll probably then need to place into the giant red statue's mouth. There's also a circling arrow blue block, and I'm not 100% sure what that could be. It might change the direction of the teeter-totters, allowing you to get up into the front ledge instead of the side ledge, which would make a lot of sense. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in this scene. Also get a new look at the UI. You can see Mario and Luigi symbols with their health now shown as a meter instead of numbers out of a certain number. And you can even see their Bros attack gauge, which is the shell, which shows how much Bros attack energy they have, their coins, and some type of collectible square pieces that they have 0 of right now. And it looks like the settings and start menu and everything else is tied to this little icon widget of a television at the bottom right. Upon further inspection, just like that widget, it looked like at first everybody were different televisions, like little antennas coming out of their head as well, but I actually think they're all outlets, or little plug outlets that you obviously plug a cord into, like a 2 or 3 prong cord. That's what their mouths are for, which is the third hole, and the 2 eye sockets, which is really cool. So you have like little plug characters walking around. Or maybe they're little TV characters. It's kind of hard to say right now. In fact, you'll run into a new NPC named Connie, which actually looks like a television plug. You can even see her eyes look like the outlet of a plug, but you can see the 2 prongs coming out the sides and the one coming down in front of his or her hair, which looks like a little piece of the hair coming down, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I guess maybe the theme of the characters are like, you know, electricity instead of just TV, so maybe different areas will have different types of electricity themed NPCs. And see the bros jumping side to side on these giant walls as they're grabbing the handles together. Mario holds Luigi as vice versa happens when Luigi grabs it first. It's a pretty cool looking area, so you just push A or B depending on who's grabbing onto the wall in order to get up. Jumping back over to Connie, they seem to know of a way to get you back home, and obviously Mario and Luigi are thinking about how in order to do this plan, but they're not telling us here in this scene. You can also see a tree with some light bulb flowers hanging from it, so once again doubling down on that electricity theme. And see the bros looking through a telescope where they're looking at a far off island, and it's once again that Brotherhood island that we've seen earlier with the 2 statues holding hands. There's different controls for the telescope, such as reset, zoom, back, aiming up, down, left, and right, so it looks like we'll be using this telescope a lot to find new islands. And maybe this island that they're on right now is kind of the central hub world, kind of like the Peach Castle, the Mushroom Kingdom of this brand new game, allowing us to go to this central island, get our gear, get everything we need, and find new islands to travel out to, which sounds like a lot of fun. Now, there's no Starlo in this game, unfortunately, but your new travel buddy seems to be this little flying pig thing called Snoutlet, where the pig nostrils is actually coming out the back like a tail. Yeah, at one glance I'm like, what the heck is this? But then it does look like a plug outlet once again. Looking at the game's official artwork, yeah, it definitely looks like an outlet. As you can see, the telescope is actually attached to a cannon. We can see a save block beside them, as if, once again, this is like a hub island where they're getting ready to fire off to a new island entirely. I really do believe that this is this game's hub world. If you look back at the island that you're launching from, you'll notice that it actually kind of looks like a pirate ship or some type of boat, where the giant tree with leaves is actually like a giant sail, and you're kind of shooting from a cannon at the helm of the ship. If we once again go to the cover art, you'll see that it is kind of built like a ship, and you can see with the waves rippling beneath it, it definitely is moving thanks to some type of power source at the top of the tree or the giant sail. So maybe we're able to just sail around the sea and use this cannon to blast the nearby islands, really making this like Wind Waker, and I could not love this idea any more than I possibly do now. It would also explain the Mario salute and the Luigi scope in the cover art as well. This seems to be like a not necessarily pirate adventure, but an open sea ship adventure, which I really love. The ship launches the bros to that Brotherhood island, which seems to probably be the first, or at least one of the first worlds of the game, where Mario spins, rolls, and lands up correctly, and of course Luigi gets tossed into the ground. It's just a typical Mario and Luigi thing again. Moving on to the middle part of the trailer, we now have a new trio of enemies, which kind of look like the best fitness friends at first, but they're called the Extension Core, and obviously that's a play on extension cords. And maybe that's what they're based off of? One on the far left just looks like a simple extension cord at the top. I can't really see the top of his head all that much, but that's kind of what I'm getting from this. His head and body also kind of remind me of a computer monitor cable cord as well, so maybe that's what they're going for. As far as the one on the right, I have absolutely no clue what this is supposed to be. Maybe their hands tell, as the first one was a 3-prong extension cord, this one's a 2-prong. The one in the middle is actually a headphone jack extension cord, as you can see with his open right arm, kind of like Samus's arm cannon, and also the giant headphone cord piece at the top of his head. I'd be willing to bet that these guys are kind of the new Fawful as well, one of the antagonist groups that keep appearing throughout the entirety of the story, so probably gonna see them a lot. Then see Mario and Luigi battling two new enemies. One is a giant orb with spikes on his head and a couple spikes beneath it, and one looks exactly like the Treevils from Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside story, but this one just being white grayish color. Mario and Luigi are actually executing another Bros move, where you have to press A and then B with Luigi because Mario revs his hammer up, Luigi smacks Mario's hammer, and then Mario slams down on the enemy, also causing a shockwave on the battlefield which can hit other enemies on the battlefield as well. You can also see this seems to be like almost a food court of a mall, and you can see electric things in the background, like some electrical plug balloons and also some popcorn with gold screws coming out of them, and even a plug outlet water fountain in the back. You can now actually see some defending gameplay where Mario and Luigi have to guard against this attack from one of the plug guys, and this one seems to be the one with the headphone jacks. So what you have to do here is bounce back his giant purple orb that he's riding towards you. This is a hammer defense move, so you'll probably hold the button down once again to hold your hammer out and then let go again as Luigi knocks it back. And it looks like he's gonna ride it right back at Luigi again, or maybe switch it to Mario where you have to keep bouncing him back. You can also press R for an emergency guard if you just want to wimp out and don't feel like trying to dodge this attack. And also you can see the new meters at the bottom left, which once again are some bars that actually show you your health and your Bros power, and it's also numbered as well for you to see exactly how much you have left. So the plug guy can use his extension outlets as fire propulsors, allowing him to fly. I get to see a giant creature with tons of rocks on his back named Gorumbla, which seems to be a new boss battle in this game. In a way, he kind of reminds me of a giant brand new Boom Boom. Then we see the boss battle against Gorumbla, where you have to take turns jumping over the wave that's coming off of the current bro. Now if you're like me, you're probably going to press them both at the same time, which looks like you may not be able to get away with here as they're very tight. So you might be forced to actually hit the right one, which I actually prefer, instead of just cheesing it and hitting both A and B. You get into a fire and ice area because what Mario game doesn't have one, but you can see Mario and Luigi swing each other around to do a Bros move, which actually turns them into a UFO. Yes, Mario's the windshield and Luigi's the actual UFO, and you can see the little orb spinning beneath him. This is so cool, allowing the Bros to actually hover and fly to a new area. Right before they do the actual Bros move, you can see them high-five each other, which is a cool detail, and you can also propel yourself to go further by pressing the X button or pressing Y to just stop completely. You can also see these giant ice boulders, which if you've ever played a Mario & Luigi game, you could probably guess you can break these with your hammer, or at least some type of hammer upgrade in the future. You now see some new icons on the right side, including a ZR, which is a yellow pipe, which might allow you to fast travel to specific areas immediately, which is really cool. And you also have an R, which seems to be a bubble cloud with 3 dots, and with the number 14. Now, I almost want to say these could be hints, giving you 14 more hints until you run out, and you can keep collecting more if you need them. It also looks like there's some type of new collectible fire rocks or something at the top path that you can collect. Maybe this is related to the square icon at the bottom left, where maybe there's like different color shape things that you collect for some reason. Next scene shows Mario and Luigi once again in that mall looking area, and you can even see a Treevil walking around before it completely disappears as it unrenders from the screen. Mario's walking up this giant flight of stairs, while Luigi's at the bottom with a hammer getting ready to hit a button, which is probably going to change up the giant maze that you see. This will probably open and close the various different green doors and rotate the different blue and red portions of the maze, and I'm sure Mario has some job to do at the top of the tower as well. You can even see flags with lights on them indicating areas that you need to reach. So it looks like just one giant maze, and one thing that you'll see a lot of, it looks like, through this trailer is Mario and Luigi doing things separate, which actually reminds me a lot of games like Partners in Time, where you actually did things separate from the babies, and you could actually leave Mario and Luigi in one area and have baby Mario and Luigi go in a different area. Here's another scene of Luigi having to use his hammer on a switch in order to make the moving platforms move left to right, and he can actually cause them to stop probably by hitting the switch once again. At the top of the wooded area in the back, you can see some type of orange box with a yellow star, and also some type of machine or device, which is probably a vehicle that you can ride along the long winding road back there. Yeah, that was a tongue twister. We then see Luigi pop up in a scene where he's thinking and finally figuring something out, where he has a really cool animation as he figures it out, and he has an exclamation mark that's made out of an L. I mean, it's just like perfect. This is a perfect animation. To the left of him in the background, you can see a giant L on the ground, so maybe there's only specific Luigi commands that you can do, very similar to Dream Team, making Luigi very important once again. This brings Mario and Luigi to a Bros minigame, which we've seen tons of in past Mario and Luigi games, and this reminds me once again of Bowser's Inside Story, where both Mario and Luigi had to take turns pressing X and Y in order to swing their hammers, hitting these seeds that are breaking apart these pods and blooming the flowers in order to create a path across the lake. You can also see Mario is standing on an M platform as well, so maybe it's not as Luigi-centric as I once thought. Unfortunately, not in this game at least. And get to see Princess Peach, so she has also been dragged into this world, and thankfully she doesn't need saved for the 100th time. It looks like she's having fun as she's riding the back of a giant Plessie, but they all have these orange handkerchiefs on them for some reason. Peach has one on her arm, the Plessie has one on around his neck, and all the NPCs have one around their little cord hair or around their necks as well. So what's up with this orange bandana thing? I have absolutely no clue what this ribbon could actually mean, and maybe it's some type of sign of the good guys or something against the bad ones? I don't know. Look at the eyes and the facial expressions of the NPCs. It literally looks like it was stripped from an anime. An Outlet is then pouncing around the Bros, and I still can't tell what this thing is supposed to be. It's like, I guess if pigs could fly type of joke, or like a gag joke or something like that, and it's like a piggy bank as well, as you can see the slit at the top, and then like the extension cord prong thing out the back. Yeah, it's like a mixture of like 8 different things. I don't know what's going on with this partner character. In fact, he even makes it clear in a scene that says, hey, let's be clear, I ain't no pig, even though his name is Snoutlet. Makes sense, I guess. Then see Connie with a watering can that even has outlet prongs at the top of it. Like, they're literally going in all the way with this theming. But she seems to be pouring something down below, and she also has some type of mystical floating square thing that she's floating in the air on. Do not fret, Bowser is here in his clown car, and he's here with his Shy Guy army as they're raining down from the sky with cannons at something down there. It's hard to say if Bowser is helping Mario or trying to harm him during the gameplay. Is he going to be a recurring villain? Kind of like in Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, but not the main villain, because I think we get a glimpse of the main villain, unless Bowser wants to team up with him and be all Bowser and Tasma style from Dream Team again. Then it looks like we get the main antagonist standing in front of the extension core, and this is a creepy draped figure with some type of sharp scissors that he's holding in front of him, unless that's somehow like his mustache or something. I'm not quite sure what I'm looking at, but he also has a top hat, kind of reminding me of Count Bleck from Super Paper Mario. You can see like 2 extension cords going through the top of his hat all the way through his mask and body. One's red, one's green, of course, and you know that's going to be tied into the boss battle. But you have the red section kind of going through the mustache scissor blade and coming out as the handles, as the green section is just still sitting to the left side beneath his face. You can then see Connie and another plug NPC with a compass attached to his head, as they both look frightened at something beneath the ship, as if someone or something fell off or something else really bad is happening. Something I'm noticing a lot of is there seems to be a lot of cutscenes, which is something that we really didn't get a lot of in the original Mario and Luigi games. We then see Mario and Luigi getting ready to fight a giant plant boss, and you can see that the area is very similar to that of the room where the main antagonist appeared in front of the extension core. You can even see the 2 weird squiggly orbs on both sides of the altar, so maybe this is where the villain appears and spawns some type of main boss for that area. Then see a Bros attack that actually uses an item, where once again Mario and Luigi high five and then use the red shell that has appeared in so many Mario and Luigi games, and it's in the 3D perspective, very similar to Dream Team and Paper Jam. Mario and Luigi are kicking it back and forth, and Mario jumps in the air to use a spin kick, something very similar looking to the Mario Strikers series. Then you get a final scene of the island sailing away into the distance, and of course, the Mario and Luigi title popping up. And thankfully, we know Mario and Luigi Brothership is coming out November 7th of this year. Super exciting, and it's just literally a couple months away, technically. It's more than a couple months. It's like 5 months, but it's coming. that was the brand new trailer for Mario and Luigi Brotherhood, pretty much dissected, and I am so happy for this game. There's so much to still unpack. I just want to go back and watch everything all over again and just really dissect even more. So I'm sure there's some little details that I missed here and there. Let me know down below if you found anything that I may have missed, and make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Mario and Luigi, Mario and Nintendo in general. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you all on the next one. See you guys.